How you doing? This video is specifically about the COVID-19 injection compensation scheme. So obviously it's a big enough problem that the government has had to put an entire scheme in place, which would have costed obviously thousands of dollars to put in place. They've also got an entire team working on the compensation claims, which obviously means that there is a big enough problem. Later on in this video, I'm going to show you a quick segment from Channel 7 News that says that up to 80,000 people have actually experienced reactions that will be eligible for compensation. Now, the first, and I'm going to give you a hot tip as well in a second, but the first thing I want to make a point of is that, you know, the Australian taxpayers have had to pay for the injections, and now they're having to pay for compensation for the injections. So that is obviously really annoying. We didn't opt in to this trial, and we also didn't want to see our fellow man having adverse reactions to a trial injection. So it's just really sad that we're having to pay for all this. And I hope the government realizes they're putting us in a lot of trouble financially for the future generations. But that's another topic. My first point that I'd like to make that's really, really important is that if you are experiencing adverse reactions, it's really important that you spend a night in hospital. So one of the actual compensation guidelines is that you need to spend a night in hospital. There are some, you can be at home and get home care, but it is definitely better to spend a night in hospital. So look, I've got the website, this website in the description here, but basically these are the conditions that are eligible for compensation. And these are the conditions that you need to get compensation. So you can get up to $20,000 actually quite easily if you've been hospitalized for at least one night and you have one of those, these above adverse reactions. So basically, you know, the government has had to put an entire scheme in place because obviously this is actually occurring more than they had thought. You can, like I said, you can have outpatient treatment at home, but it's not ideal. So I also just want to show you this here. This is a Channel 7 segment that, yeah, just watch it.
Experience before in the center of my chest.
Diagnosed with severe pericarditis, he was off work for 10 weeks.
You constantly worry, I suppose, that anxiety around, I suppose we're talking about your heart.
Man, he's not alone. It's estimated 79,000 people have suffered adverse reactions to vaccines. Now the government's offering compensation. Claims under $20,000 will need evidence from your doctor. Claims over $20,000 assessed by a team of legal experts. The highest figure reserved for only the most serious of cases.
I think it could cost the government a lot of money.
Daniel O'Hara works at Shine Lawyers.
Could cost the government a lot of money, more like cost the taxpayers a lot of money. But anyway, that's another story. So look, the most important thing is that, one, it's obviously it's being recognized that there is enough adverse reactions to actually have a whole system in place. But number two, if you're unfortunate enough to have an adverse reaction, try to make sure you spend a night in hospital. That's going to make your claim a lot easier. And thirdly, if you do have a vaccine story, whether it was just because you were coerced or whether you've actually had a reaction, please share your story here for us. It'd be really great if we had this information. So on the website, on the Reignite Democracy website, underneath initiatives, you've got share your vaccine story. So basically one day, there will be trials about this, okay? I don't know when that's going to happen, but it has to happen because justice always prevails. You know, we're going to need justice for what's going on. So if you can please share your story here, that would be great. And when we do start the trials, when we do start getting justice for what's happened, then we can get in touch with you and say, hey, are you ready to share your story openly in court or something like that? Also, if you share your story here and you click the tick box that says that I'm happy for my story to be published, it means that we can actually publish that story and try to raise awareness about the adverse reactions. So if you don't want your story shared publicly, just make sure you don't tick that box and we'll keep it private and we'll get in touch with you when justice is ready to be had. So look, that's just a little bit of tidbit of information for you guys. The website and everything is in the description for you to have a look at. So I'm sorry if you've had an adverse reaction, but you know, the taxpayers' money is there for people like you. And if you can't work and you can't do those things, then, you know, I think you deserve some compensation. So there you go. See you guys.